Hey, Loco sports fans, Loco football fans, welcome to Loco Pigskin Live. Justin Jarrett joined by Wes Kerr, and we will hopefully have many more friends stopping by to talk high school football with us tonight because we had another great night of some really good matchups, Wes. The one that I was at out in Hampton didn't end up being a close score. Hampton County won 26-3, but it was a very competitive game. Really should have been 7-3 game at halftime, but for a block punt, Zedekiah Raymond on the opening series blocked it, scooped it up, and scored for Hampton, and that kind of set the tone. And then, Zion Dobson got loose for a long touchdown run in the second half. And then long touchdown pass. Xavier Garvin got in there in the second half and kind of sparked the offense, threw a long one for Zamon Lofties, who's got some juice. So really good showing for Hampton. But to run down the scores for you, Colleton County last night, 30-7 over in North Charleston. We talked with Adam Kinlock on Game Day Live today, and then I actually talked with Kinlock again on my drive today. Really, really excited for him. We got a little more insight into that incident, Wes, and it was what I thought it might have been. Kinlock did a good job. He had his kids' best interests at heart, and everybody on the Colleton side did, and it was a good thing. But for another day, conversation for another day. Beaufort 16-13 over May River. That is a huge win for Beaufort. Another just nail-biting fight to the finish. They pull it off at the end. We'll try to fill in some of the details as we go here, and hopefully Jimmy Searson gets back to Walterboro and he can jump in and talk with the Stricklanders over there to talk about Patrick Henry. We'll get to him in a minute. He's probably dealing with my boy Blue over there. Blue's probably trying to get in there. No, he's something else. What else we got? Bluffton 56-21 over Creek. That one was kind of competitive early, I think, and then got away from them, which has been the MO for Creek. They just
Christian Academy.
Not enough horses. That's a big win. Big win. Yeah, Marlboro County 38-24 over Ridgeland. Whale Branch 62-0 over Burke. That's about what we expected. Colleton Prep 3-0 over Memorial Day. That one's wild. Patrick Henry 33-20. We got Strecklander in there. He said terrible first half from the Patriots. They were down 12-6. Had to come back and win that one. We'll talk about it later. Thomas Heyward 34-8 over Dorchester. Tony O'Banner 5 touchdowns. Bethesda 53-0 over Cross. Holy Trinity 42-24 over Oakbrook Prep. Stricklander, you're going to have to become an 8-man wizard. We're going to get you in here in a minute. You're going to have to start telling us about 8-man.
Let's talk about the game I was at. John Paul II putting up a pretty strong fight. I was impressed. Of course, no CT4 in the lineup, but, it's hard to know what you expect from a backup coming in. But I thought Wolf did a great job.
Wolf's going to be good.
Yeah, you're just keeping his composure. Obviously, it was a tough start for him, but the way he executed, not just on offense, but defensively, making some key stops and tackles, I thought was really impressive. His all-around two-way style of game. So I thought he did a great job tonight. A lot of JP2 Golden Warriors I was impressed with. Brayton Horton had a nice game, returned the kickoff for a touchdown. And then James Kiefer working hard over there at wide receiver. They've got some emerging guys on this offense, and I really thought the fact that they were down 21-0, this game could have gone completely out of hand, but they made this a ball game, and it didn't get too close, but they made it respectable, and I thought they really did a good job solidifying the potential for what this offense could be. And then when you bring back a star, Christian Tilton, with these supporting pieces, how they've been forced to grow up a little more, having to take on more responsibility. It's not all the CT4 stuff. You have them in there. So this kind of game could do wonders for some of the other guys. And then, Alan Wolf, he's a freshman. He's looked pretty solid. Just sometimes you talk about throwing a guy the Wolves in a tough environment like this against a good Pinewood Prep team. But I thought he handled the situation really well. I thought he got better as the game went on, and I think there's a role for him going forward in this team, and certainly, as you mentioned, a bright future for him going forward for the Golden Warriors.
Yeah, and there are many more wolves coming, by the way. There's a whole wolf pack. Or Alan Wolf, the elder Alan Wolf over at Surge Group. I talk with him all the time. I always check every time I see him. I ask about the wolf pack and how many wolves there are now. Because
But
a bunch
speaking
of
of
them.
Pinewood Prep, got to talk with
Oh
Devontae
yeah,
Holloman, who
Devontae.
just continues to be a part of the local high school football story from
Yeah.
his time over at Beaufort, then at South Point, beating Beaufort in the state championship. Now over at Pinewood Prep, playing a couple of our local teams already. I like the way that team's been growing this year. They've got two strong quarterbacks. Both got to see a little bit of both of them. Defense was playing a hungry brand all game long. Although JP2 was able to score him a couple times late in that game, and like how that offense really grew as the outing as the night went on for the Golden Warriors. But it's a sound offensively minded team with a lot of weapons at their disposal. So I like the way that Devontae Hallman is molding this Pinewood Prep team, and I got talking about the game, and he was really gracious for what the Low Country did to jumpstart his career as a football coach, and just reminiscing on his time at Beaufort and what it meant to him. So great to talk to him after the game, and good to see he's continuing his excellent career over there at Pinewood.
Yeah, he's a really I like that guy a lot. He's just really a genuine guy who has just a lot of passion and lives with a lot of passion and purpose, and I have a lot of respect for him. He wears his heart on his sleeve, and he's going to do a great job there. He's going to do a great job everywhere he goes. But I'm impressed with JP2's fight. I think whenever Christian Tilton gets back, it's going to be really a good thing for them that these kids have had to kind of be thrown into the fire and grow up a little bit. That they're going to have some, a little more depth and some guys that they can count on down the stretch. So, it's a long season, and certainly you want Tilton at 100% at some point, because you got a shot every game when he's 100%. And so I think if you got to eat one and let some guys grow up, then you got to get him back out there 100%, and hopefully that's soon. So, but let's get Strickland in because he's hanging out backstage, and we don't want him to eat up all the snacks before anybody else gets in there. So, Stricklander, what's up, man? We missed you at lunchtime, and last week you've been working hard. You got a real job. You got a real job, unlike some of us, but you were pretty frustrated over the text. First, it was kind of like radio silence over there because there wasn't much to report and it was bad news, but got it going in the second half. So, just one of those games, kind of a trap game type deal where you guys saw the record and saw what BA did to him last week and just kind of sleepwalking to start, or what?
That's a good football team. I mean, they're 1-3 or whatever. I mean, if they had more guys, they'd be a force in 2A. But I mean, they had like 5 guys hurt, so they got 18, 19 kids playing 2A SCHISA ball, which is I mean, we played 8-man with 15, 16 before, and that sucks. Yeah. But you can only imagine double A. Yeah. But Blue, go on now. Let me talk. Sorry, he's being aggravated.
You're my boy, Blue.
He just wants to get stirred up right when I start talking. All right.
Yeah. He's like, who are you talking to? I don't see anyone.
Pretty much. But, we started
I love Dogs on Podcast. Dogs on Podcast is my favorite thing.
Come here. Make your appearance, buddy. Come here.
Come on, Blue. What's up, Blue Dog?
He wants to be shy now. Give me my phone. Sorry, I was updating all my scores and stuff. But no, I mean, we started out pretty good. I mean, textbook first drive, we went on down the field, and then we got a holding call deep in their territory, and then threw a pick, and then it just kind of went back and forth, and we scored first. Hugh threw a pass to Michael T, and then they scored right. It was, I don't know, maybe 2 minutes before the half, and then we threw another pick, and then they scored again. And so we went into halftime down 12-6. Glad nobody but us was in the locker room. That was not a fun chewing out for the guys. But we made some adjustments. We knew the left side of their defense was the weak side. So, we just on offense we just attacked. And I mean, there was a lot bad in the first half. I mean, we should have been down, 3 or 4 scores. I mean, it was bad, but the guys really came around in the second half, and we got one score in I think it was the fourth quarter, and then your guy Gerald Freeman right behind me.
Oh yeah,
he goes, "Get a pick six, boys! Get a pick six!" Literally next play, Jacob Corley picks it off and runs it in the end zone, 35 yards, and so that put us up 26-12. And we ended up scoring again, and then they got a junk touchdown with a minute left. But I don't know,
we're taking Gerald to Vegas.
Yeah.
See what happens.
I definitely would. But
the hangover part Lowco.
Yeah, we've been on a roll the past few games. Calhoun with 35-0. And it just, I don't know. I think it kind of showed the guys something.
Yeah.
They're gonna have to work, which is good. You can't just expect people to lay down.
Sometimes you want a game like this midway through the year, when sometimes you're, I don't like to say sleepwalking, but you're just you're running through it. You're looking like you're unstoppable out there, and all of a sudden you get a game where you're saying, "Oh, we got to pick it up." And this is something that can really help you when you look at the big picture, knowing that you have to be ready for whatever's coming your way, and everyone just wants to take you down when you're unbeaten. So, this kind of game can be a blessing as you guys move forward in the schedule. So, I mean, we look at championship teams all the time. It's not always blow out every game. You're going to have some adversity to fight through, and this is one of those weeks where you had to dig a little deeper to get it done.
Yeah, for sure. And we got another tough team next week. Clarendon Hall, always a close game. We played them for homecoming last year, won 20-16 on a miracle fumble. I mean, I guess we still have some homecoming magic going this year. But we got to play at their place, and like Coach Joe Gray said to our guys after the game, I mean, it's one of the toughest places in SCISA to play. I mean, and they, even if they don't have the guys, because we play them in 8-man, and then we both moved up last year to single A. Even if they don't have the guys, they're going to be physical. They're going to be nasty. They're going to be tough. And we usually get chippy when we have a huge fight. We had a fight a couple of years ago. Kylie Horton, that plays for Carolina now, actually punched one of our guys in the helmet. It was fun times. But it's going to be an interesting game next week, I think, too.
Coach Wayne says, Coach Wayne wants us to see your big binder of stats. You got it on you?
My big binder. I mean, I just got my clipboard,
He said you have the biggest binder of stats he's ever seen.
It's in my study.
Oh, in your study. In the library.
8 years worth of stats,
Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
Yeah, we were all hanging out.
Good.
We were all hanging out at the field after the game. Coach Wayne was there. He kept asking if I was going live, but we all ended up leaving. At least I did. But
Coach Wayne. Well, all's well that ends well, and you guys learned some lessons tonight and grew some guys up. So good game over across the way. Hurricanes are still undefeated.
You went
down in the second half. I did go to Rigdon's.
Well, so my favorite thing to get is you get the strip dip, and I get mine dipped in hot sauce and get it with ranch. They make a good cheeseburger too.
I had to go straight up, 2-piece dark, because first time had to have just straight up fried chicken. See what that was about. With corn nuggets though, sub the corn nuggets for the fries.
Anymore.
Ooh, they're good.
Yeah.
BJ Payne said make sure I got the corn nuggets, and they were quite good. Yeah, it was good. It was solid. It was hopping tonight.
Well, when y'all come to see us, y'all have to go to Lester's before the game. Get you some barbecue.
Lester's. We were told to go to the Hurricane Sports Cafe as well, too, because apparently
it just opened. I hadn't been there yet.
Well, Coach Knight said it's a banger, so he said to go after the game. I was like, Coach, we got to go live after the game. We can't be going out. We can't be going out. We got to go to work after the game. I know y'all get to go to the Hurricane Sports Bar, but not us. We gotta go to work. So, but no, it was a nice night for Hampton. It's a great environment, man. I just love that place. It's such a cool place to watch a football game, and crowd is really rallying behind the program, and it's cool to see the communities come together, and both kids from both communities are definitely stepping up. Yeah, Kayvon and Xavier Garvin and all kinds of Zedekiah Raymond, lots of guys coming up big, and it's a fun thing. Zion Dobson is a freak.
I just
he's
go back to the
Mandrell.
Yeah.
Oh. Here we go. Here's a little atmosphere. Look at Kayvon with this hammer. I love the hammer.
Yeah, they give out the Hammer of the Week award.
The Hurricane Walker.
Yeah.
Called the Hurricane Walker.
Yeah. Biggest hit of the week gets the hammer. You get to walk out with the hammer. You got Zion. And then they got the big dog chain too with the HC. That's pretty cool. Miss Gerald there was asking for Patrick Henry updates all night. She's a big fan of the Fairy Twins. I like the nice coat of blue on the press box too.
Yeah, I bet they don't call it Red Devil Hill anymore.
I don't reckon so. Hurricane Hill now, right?
I guess.
It's a great shot of the sky, JJ. Nice work.
Well, it was nice weather today, at least.
Oh, it was beautiful tonight. It started getting cool enough at the end that lenses started fogging up and stuff, which is
yeah, I had to drive home in pretty heavy fog. So
yeah, those unis are nice. It was confusing tonight though because we had matching helmets, like really matching helmets, and Sammy Dubs and I were wondering about whether that was going to be a factor. If a quarterback was going to look up and see a helmet and the wrong color helmet, but it was the right color helmet. Jackson Bybee, he had a little bit of a tough night tonight. He got happy, not so much happy feet, but just happy throwing the ball away tonight after they got after him a little bit. They got Kayvon and Mandrell, they got in there and put some hit licks on him and got some pressure on him. And he started for a little while there. He started to just kind of get a quick trigger and get rid of it. And Hampton's defense is legit, man. They bring some heat and they'll mix it up and they cover well downfield. So, you feel like you're constantly under duress and you got to get rid of it quickly. And the ground game just wasn't there. Timko I think he was banged up. He said his back wasn't great. He didn't have as many carries as typical. And they just didn't, Hampton just kind of ground them down. It was 13-3 at halftime. Probably should have been 7-3 except for the block punt, which, block punt was a play too. Zedekiah Raymond made a great play, came through, got it, scooped it. Bybee tried to keep him out of the end zone, no dice, and that was how it started. And really, Hilton had never really got out of the hole. So good showing. That they're a good team. They're going to have challenges in the playoffs for sure, but they were down 2 offensive linemen tonight, including DeMonte Mathis, who, is a real factor for them and could be out 3 or 4 weeks. And they still got it done against a good Hilton Head team. So I'm impressed.
Jake Thompson, that's a tough guy to go up against the way, Hampton County was able to hold its own line.
And he was a problem. He was a problem tonight. They held him down in the first half.
Stop.
Go ahead. Blue.
And he is going.
Go ahead, Wes. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No. You talk about Jake Thompson and how important of a prop that he's been against opposing teams, but still the way that Hampton County was able to find success in the ground game, even down a couple guys. That speaks volumes to the skill of Zion Dobson and just the teamwork and the unification of everybody buying in to do the job that they need to accomplish play out. So that's a fun team. The defense has been quite impressive. Mandrell Sanders, Kayvon Chisholm, and a bunch of other guys have really stepped up as well. So Brooklyn Casey next week, that's going to be an interesting one. That's a top 10 team in 3A or right on there. So going on the road. So I'm interested to see how they do there. But the rest of the schedule, you got Woodlands. You region play. Woodland could be. I'm actually might be interested in going to that one. a couple weeks
That'd
down
be
the
a real
road.
good
That's a
one.
that's a pretty
Yeah,
good team.
Yeah, our new AD
And
is
Barnwell as well. So
big
the
on
last two region
That's
games,
right.
Woodland and Barnwell, those could be very, very fun contests. I mean, those are two solid 2A teams.
yeah, for sure. Yeah, you were saying, Jeff, that your new AD, Justin Scott, came from Woodland, right?
Yep.
Is that what you're saying?
Yep. He's they're a solid team. So, and I think that's the last game, right? Kind of like we got Thomas Heyward the last game. So,
yeah. Mac Gohagen says you're the best stat keeper out there. I agree.
thanks,
You're
Mac.
the
Even
best.
though I didn't have any stats for you.
Brian Blaze says Hurricanes. Yeah, Hurricanes. I really enjoy that program. Hannah does a great job, man. He's class act. It was fun tonight. It's a good environment. How about the SCHISA scores, Jeff? I heard there was a wild inning at Colleton Prep. They won 3-0 over Memorial Day.
I was surprised to see.
I don't have any details, but I'm told it was a wild ending. Ending is wild.
A little more exciting than their game last week, I guess.
Yeah, but 3-0. Yeah, last week was against Cross.
Yeah, 3-0. Sounds like it's from 60 years ago, not this year. So.
That usually happens when we play in a hurricane, like not on the beautiful night. That's wild. BA had a little trouble with OP 28-21. HHCA, another really impressive win. I think they're who we thought
next
they were.
Week,
you know,
EA's coming to Hilton Christian Academy. Coming to the cage.
I'll be in Florida for baseball. I'll miss that one, but jelly. I'll be running a remote op. We'll be running a command center from Boomba. Not actually. I won't be at Boomba at the time. I'll be at the hotel, but we'll be down there in Florida. So we'll run remote ops, and you guys will have to tell me everything that's going on in the Lowco. So Pinewood over JP2. We talked about that. Good showing by JP2. Heyward, 5 touchdowns for Tonio quarterback, and they win 34-8 over Dorchester. Does that raise your eyebrows a little, Jeff?
Yeah, well, I did hear a little bit about that game. Dorchester had 2 long drives, and they got down almost to the goal line, and I can't remember what I was told. Something like they turned it over somehow or something like that, and so they came away with nothing. And then of course, Thomas Heyward scored. So it could have gone either way, I guess. But in the end, it's kind of who makes less mistakes sometimes. Like
34-8 really couldn't have gone either way, though. Not really.
Well, like I said, I don't.
A lot of things would have had to go the other way for that to go the other way. But I hear what you're saying. The 34-8 doesn't tell the whole story necessarily, but that's a good win for THA. They're rallying since
Bears definitely got the offense going.
Yeah, you got a Cam Newton Auburn situation going on over there.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it. More Tony O'Banner highlights. Tony O'Banner doing ridiculous things as the largest man on the field that's just fun to watch. It's like when I'm watching like a kid, in 8U football who looks like he's 14. It's just fun to watch.
And don't sleep on the
anomaly.
Don't sleep on the way that defense is playing, because they've got a couple of veteran guys.
Oh yeah,
in that system that have been there for
Bo
a while.
Pinkney's a beast. Cutter's really good. Josh Gibson, I heard, had a great game tonight. That's still a really good little football team with a bunch of dudes who played for a bunch of state championship teams. They're good. They're gonna be fine. Jeff, y'all know not to overlook them. They're still the Kings.
Yeah, we got that game circled. It's our last game of the regular season. So. And it's a home game, and I don't think we've had Thomas Heyward at home since 98, 99. It's been a long time. We usually get huge crowds for that. But,
I'm kind of thinking, it's hard saying because it's a busy week that week, but I'm kind of thinking I might be there.
We'll bring Bamberg that week. We got a bunch of
Bamberger.
We get a bunch of important potential region deciding championship games that week. So it's best not to
look ahead. We got to build our correspondent list. We got to build our
It's
correspondent
best not
list.
to
We got
look
to
at
get
it.
more
And football team,
correspondents.
and our football teams know that well. But sometimes as sports writers, you get excited over potential matchups that you see.
Well, I have to kind of plan ahead because I have to kind of try to figure out how I'm going to get to all the different places and see all the different teams and all that stuff and make it all fit together into the puzzle. So especially with baseball trips too, like there's a couple where we're out of town on Friday and I'm like, we'll be in Charleston for one. So I'm hoping maybe I can find a game in Charleston, that fits the Lowco coverage area. It's a juggling act, but it's fun. It's the greatest. What else? Bethesda 53, nothing over cross, no surprise. Holy Trinity, I don't know much about 8-man. Jeff, that used to be your domain, but Holy Trinity beating Oakbrook prep now for their third straight win. Like, we need to pay attention to them, I think. It looks like.
Well, I've been doing this for 8 years, and 6 of it was 8-man. And when I played, I played 8-man. Now we did play a few 11-man games, but and Holy Trinity started. I think their varsity program was last year, so I really don't know much about them. But in Oakbrook Prep, they are not eligible for the playoffs. Just like I think Andrew Jackson, Conway Christian's the same thing because they were both Andrew Jackson, Conway Christian. They were 11-man and they dropped back down. But 8-man's wide open. I guess Holly Hill's been the cream of the crop there. They won like 30-something games in a row, and then Jeff Davis beat them 2 weeks ago in overtime. And but this week Holly Hill beat Richard Wynn, and Richard Wynn was kind of the team to beat. Everybody thought this year. So I don't know. It's wide open, and Holy Trinity could sneak in and make a run this year. And honestly, I thought Faith Christian was going to be the team to beat because last year, they didn't have a big roster, but they were, they were fast and athletic. But this year, don't seem to be panning out like I thought they would be.
See, this is why we ask you these things because you actually know, and I couldn't have told you a dang thing about Faith Christian. But I do want to ask you though, don't you think Cross should be playing 8-man football? Like they could be competitive there.
Sometimes when you start your program, you got the kids and you can do it. You can just go and do it.
Yeah.
But there's no shame in being there's no shame in it. We played it for 20 years. Some schools have never played 11-man. A school like PD that won state in 3A last year, they used to be 8-man.
Yeah.
There's no shame in it.
Well, BA is only a few years removed from 8-man.
Yeah. And I remember we used to beat the brakes off them. And then, Coach Clifford came in and built that program up and they beat the brakes off us 2 years in a row before they moved on.
Yeah. And now y'all both might be playing, late in November at Charleston Southern. So, I just wish they would rethink that. And I hope they do after this season and think about going the 8-man route. It just makes sense to me.
Or start with JV or something,
Well, they did that. They tried that. It just, I don't know, man. COVID fouled it all up. They had a good thing going. They had Brooking over there, and it was going to be good, and it just couldn't develop quickly enough for it to be there for his kid, and he had to look elsewhere. And, he's a Savannah Christian, but that's how it goes, especially in that world. But, they're on the cusp of some stuff there. Basketball's going to be good. Soccer's good. Volleyball's good. Yeah, they got some good stuff going on there. It's going to be good. But like what you guys are doing out of Patrick Henry, it was a good night in Hampton County, man. Any other SCHISA scores you want to chat about? First Baptist 42, Hilton at Prep 31. Dolphins put up a heck of a fight, man.
Well, that was the game Marcus kind of said, right? That was maybe their last chance to win. I hope they do pull one out, but
last best chance, I guess, kind of. But
GP2, you never know. That's all. It's
even Hilton and Christian, the way they're playing now, that doesn't seem
I don't
like
know.
a reality. But after 2 weeks, it was like the Thane brothers were joking about it, but not anymore. I don't think. I think Hilton and Christian found another gear. They're looking pretty good. So hopefully Dylan Price can get on here and tell us about that game. If not someone else. Let's see if I have any texts from people who want to talk to us. Okay, Memorial. 3-0 because Memorial walked off the field with 7 minutes left in the first half. I'm told.
Wonder why.
Peaced out. Peaced out. Interesting. We'll have to get to the bottom of that. If any of our viewers would like to tell us about that, hit us in the comments. We'll get you that.
I'm sure that's an interesting story.
Hey, we have another SCHISA talker. We're gonna keep stalling until we get Marcus in here, but we get another SCHISA talker in here with Trace Lowther, and we'll make him listen to the ads with us. How about that? Let's talk about our MVP sponsors, guys. Starting with my wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports. And you guys looking for real estate? If you're looking for real estate, Wes has probably got to go do his work.
We'll see you kick Wes.
I just bought
He
a
left.
house. Just bought a house,
left.
bro. I don't think I'm gonna need real
Did
estate
you
anytime
really?
soon. I did.
Dude, come on, man. You got to
Oh,
use
man,
the
live
official
with your
realtor of
parents for
Lowco
like
Sports.
20 years and make all that money.
But no, anyway, the official realtor of Lowco Sports is Megan Jarrett, my wife. From the Pierce Group of eXp Realty. She'd love to help you find your spot in the Lowco, whether it's a starter home, forever home, investment property, what have you. And when you find it, we're going to go make sure it's a good one by being inspected by Homegrown Home Inspections. My guy, Jan Lucas, is the best in the business, and he's always looking out for his clients. He'd rather share an inconvenient truth than a convenient lie that will come back to burn you in the long run. So you want him on your team like he's on Team Lowco as the official home inspector of Lowco Sports. And then we're going to close the deal with Mickelson Law Firm, the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports, our original sponsors, the OGs since 2017, way back when, still with us. And that's a testament to Ryan and Tiffany Mickelson. And they've got just as much dedication to the law field. They're going to take care of all your needs, and they are the official real estate closing attorneys of Lowco Sports. Those are our MVP sponsors. Trace Lowther, you were there. You heard us speculating about the Dorchester Thomas Heyward game. Tony O'Banner show. Tell us more about it. How'd it go down?
Yeah, well, first off, I just need to know, did Megan get the family sponsorship discount? Or did
100%. Yeah,
did you charge her? Did you charge her?
This is a comp. This is a comp deal. Yeah. This is absolutely a comp deal. In-house discount on that one. Official realtor. We do want Lowco Sports to persist, don't we?
Oh, of course. No, but yeah, it was
happy wife, happy life.
that's right. It was the the nickname that you gave Tony last year came to fruition today. Tonio touchdown. He was balling. 5 total touchdowns, 34-8 Heyward. Started a little slow. Both teams. It was actually 0-0 at the end of the first quarter. Heyward really couldn't get anything going on offense early. Really struggled to move the ball. Dorchester was actually moving the ball really well. Had a fumble in the red zone. Heyward stopped. Heyward had actually Dorchester had it on the 10-yard line, and Heyward had a goal line stand on 4th down. So I mean, 2 possessions that Dorchester sort of gave away early, down in the red zone in the first quarter that they could have taken advantage of. And so, give credit to Heyward's defense for stepping up and making plays when they needed to. And then second quarter, both teams moved the ball pretty well, just sort of back and forth. Ended up 14-8 at the end of the first half. And then out of the third quarter, Tony just went off, and the Heyward offense was churning. Robinson twins played great on defense like they always do. They make every single tackle on the field. That's the only name I call all night on defense. And then Josh Gibson actually had a fantastic game on defense. I think he probably led the team in tackles. I think he had maybe 10 or 15 tackles. He was all over the field playing cornerback. So, looking ahead, obviously, Patrick Henry looks to be the cream of the crop in 1A this year. But I think if with Tony at quarterback and Heyward starting to figure some things out and getting accustomed to this new offense and the new system and everything else, I think if they can avoid injuries, and that's the biggest thing, is just there's no depth. So if they can avoid injuries going through, the Beaufort Academies and the Hilton Head Christians and everyone else, which I don't even know if we play Christian, but if we can avoid the injuries, in the non-conference play and get to that Patrick Henry game at full strength, I think it could be a really good game.
Yeah, that's the key, especially in SCHISA where you just have limited depth compared to other levels of football we cover here, but yeah, especially Tony O'Banner, who has really been a spark plug on offense and has unlocked this whole different offensive set that has been thriving these last few games, and now going off for 5 tutties, as you would say, in the victory. I'm really impressed of what this new coach is doing, and we knew he had experience. He's been over around in Utah for a while. He's learned a lot about how to coach and build a football team, and we're really seeing his veteran knowledge, pay off. Obviously, the Tony switch is one thing, but just the way how sound and how crisp that defense is playing is really fun and exciting to watch.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of you see coach turn around in high school sports, but typically in high school, whether it be public school or private school, even if there's a new head coach, you sometimes usually see some of the staff. Maybe it was a O-line coach that went to school there and has been the O-line coach forever and stays around. I mean, it was a complete overhaul in staff, athletic director, head of school, a ton of new players, new teachers. I mean, the whole school is different. I literally know no one, and I went there for 14 years and graduated 5 years ago. So I literally know no one. Like, it's crazy. So it's like a completely different place. So I figured early on it would take some time to sort of get things gelled, get things moving. But I think as time goes on, like I said, if they can stay healthy, I think that Patrick Henry Thomas Air game is going to be one that you're definitely going to keep your eye on late in the year to see who can take the region and who can.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't doubt if we see that in the playoffs.
Yeah, I wouldn't discount seeing each other in the semis or the finals even, but I think one of the coolest things McGeary did was bring in Tyree Simmons. I love what that guy is about and his attitude and his mentality, and I think he's going to be just a tremendous coach for a long time. He's got something, Have you seen that? He's pretty special, isn't he?
Yeah, the kids gravitate towards him. I mean, he's hyped up on the sidelines. He doesn't even wear a headset. It's so he's always over there just hyping up. He's constantly running back and forth. Where's his hat backwards? I mean, he's going ham on the sideline. He brings a lot of energy. It's pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. Well, hey guys, we gotta talk about some high school league stuff. People are gonna get fussy with this. It's a lot of SCISA.
Yeah,
it's a lot of SCISA.
All right.
So if you want to hang around, you're welcome to. But we gotta talk. We gotta get Marcus Walsh in here and talk some Beaufort.
I'm gonna dip. Just wanted to talk about Heyward. So
appreciate you, man. Appreciate you. Good to see you. And your setup looks great as always.
Thanks, man. Got repping the Grizz Alabama golf.
Yeah, Grizz. Yeah, man. Lady got him locked down.
I know
it. Richardson got him. Yeah. Got him. All right,
boys.
Hey, take care, buddy. Appreciate you.
Later.
All right, Strickland, are you sticking with us? You calling tonight?
Man, I worked 11 days straight. I think I'm ready to go to bed.
Fair enough. Night Blue. We'll get Walsh in here and we'll talk some high school league for the diehards. All right.
Yeah. See y'all around.
Peace, brother. Appreciate you. Pats on top. Later.
Oh, yeah.
What's up, Marcus?
What's up, gentlemen?
Made the long trek back from the Isle of Ladies, and you had another Donnybrook over there, man. I don't know much about it other than kind of the general
back and forth game.
Yeah, the score updates. That's about all I got. But it was a wild one, huh? Started with the safety, and then it was 2-0 forever. 2-0. What in the world? Yeah, 2-run shot by Hudson Mullen, and then just pitcher's duel for a while.
If you guys know the classic story, A Tale of Two Cities, this was A Tale of Two Halves, because it was just.
I'm so glad someone appreciates my Isle of Ladies joke that I keep making.
It was just weird, and of course, I love it too, JJ, without question. It was just weird because, we start the game and Bryce Librand and certainly Richard Bonneville are just running the football. The first drive, Beaufort has the ball for a really long time throughout the first quarter. They don't manage to score, and obviously the only points we had were the safety, and it was 2-0 at half. First quarter lasted about maybe 18 minutes. I mean,
Yeah, that was about like Hampton
Whoa.
Hilton had too. The first quarter was over like nothing. Chris Terry turned to me and goes,
Oh,
"Man, that was a fast first quarter." I was like, "Yeah, it was."
it was crazy. And then in the second quarter, the penalties started coming out, and I was, doing my Aflac reads, doing my Aflac reads and all this other stuff, all the reads that we have to get in. I only got, I think, 6 of our like 20 ad reads that we have in the first quarter because it went by so quickly. And then, the injuries kind of piled up too with guys getting banged up and whatnot. It was a cooler night, but it was still very humid.
Yeah, it was nice. It was a great night.
I started the halftime report by saying, Daniel, I don't know if I've seen a first half of football like this ever. And he said, yeah, it was really weird. And it was, because you're so used to these teams having, good offensive lines and good defenses and whatnot, but 2-0? What?
2-0.
It was just
that's
nuts.
wild.
And then we start
2-0 bottom of the fourth.
That's right. I was like, I think I even said off air during one of our commercial breaks, Daniel looked at me and he's like, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this was a soccer match. And I looked back at him and I said, if this was a soccer match, we're missing one very important person, and that's Wes Kerr, because of the fact that I know he does play-by-play for soccer.
Yeah, there you go. So, Nigel Bell was standing on his head.
Goodness gracious. So then the second half starts, and May River did exactly what Beaufort did on that first drive, driving it down the field. Of course, it's Tanner Macy, and they didn't have a first down in that first half, May River. They went first downless in that first half.
Wow.
And there were, I think, like 16 penalties in the first half as well. 10 for Beaufort, 6 for May River. I think I'm getting those numbers right. But May River came down the field, scored obviously a lot on Tanner Macy, and it was 7-2. And it's like, holy cow! From there on out, we've got a ball game. Beaufort came back, scored a touchdown to make it 9-7. May River came back, scored a touchdown, but missed the extra point to make it 13-9.
Yeah.
And then Beaufort with the capper to make it 16-13. And there was still time left where I was thinking, does May River go down here, possibly kick a field goal? Kaiserling with a great leg with both, punting and some other stuff on special teams tonight. Obviously,
he's a reliable kicker. He
is. Obviously, a lot of it was Jaden Andrews. But, oh, my gosh, there was a huge run down the sideline, and it took a little bit of time because Andrews got hurt for this guy to get going. But Elias Johnson just took off like a freight train and had a great run. I don't have my notes on me, but 56 for Beaufort. That
Simmons or
Jaden Simmons.
Yeah, Jaden Simmons.
He was our player of the game. That dude
He's a monster.
Is an absolute bruiser of a player. He was in on so many plays.
Yeah.
They tried to get the ball a little bit to Cameron Mitchell running the ball for May River. We saw Gage Duncan, who was obviously a key player for May River, and hearing from Coach Bonneville as Daniel talked to him, and certainly I was talking to Bryce. Mitchell was able to do a little bit. We saw Duncan make some catches towards the sideline and over the middle. He had a huge return in the second half, I believe it was, to get things kind of going. But it was literally the tale of two halves. But at the end of the day, the game ended the way we figured it would. A tight battle. Beaufort goes to 6-2 all time in this rivalry, And there have been a lot of really tight ones. We had the game last year where it was 13-7, Beaufort coming back at the end of the game. They were down 7-0. And the great play by Carter Bowersox recovering the fumble with, I think, a minute to go in the third quarter. That was the play of the game. And I was, as I usually do, I was going nuts. And so, this game was kind of like that in a way, but it was the tale of two complete opposites. I have never quite seen a first half like that in all my years calling football and in all my years watching football, for that matter. And then the football game broke out in the second half, because I have a feeling that both coaches went into the locker room and probably raised a little bit of you-know-what and just said, guys, we need to play better than this because we are better than this. I was even saying that just in terms of being off air and whatnot and getting ready for the halftime show. I was like, this is just wild. This is wild and weird and wacky. And
yeah,
the second half came out.
You
it was just,
have seen a couple of crazy Beaufort games where they were behind at parts in the second half, and they willed themselves back to eventually win the game. What have you learned from this edition of this Beaufort team? Obviously, a little different than what we saw last year, but the pieces are starting to come together, and they know how to win these tight, close games. And another one here tonight against the Good May River team.
Right, and that's something that we were talking about a little bit throughout the game, and Daniel was giving his opinion. He said, just something looks a little bit different with Samari. For whatever reason, whether teams are getting adjusted to him or whatnot.
He looked real good last week.
He just looks a little bit different from what we've seen, and that's what I was saying too, was that he did look really good last week.
Yeah.
We talked to Bryce Library and Wes about that at the end of the game, and or with our post-game show. We just had him on. We tried to get Simmons on for the player of the game, and he was already in the locker room at that point. But we talked to Bryce about that, and he said, we have to fix our mistakes. We have to stop making so many penalties. We have to stop, doing the self-inflicting stuff that we've been doing the first 5 games. But he said this team never quits and whatnot. And I mentioned to him, that's the way it was when he was under Devontae Holloman. And then before Devontae, that is certainly the way it was under Mark Clifford for Beaufort football. And that's going back to when I first started calling football for WHHI. Yeah. Coincidentally, next month, October 11th, will be essentially my 10-year anniversary doing on-air stuff in all capacities with WHHI. And the first assignment that I ever got, to the best of my knowledge, was that football game. It was the Broad River Bowl, Beaufort hosting Bluffton. The final was 35-27 that night. I forget who the running back was for Beaufort.
You got a memory like a steel trap, man.
He just went nuts that night. Got our player of the game. I called the game with the great Chuck Zapek. And so always additionally to be back. And I know that matchup is next week, the Broad River Bowl. As I talked about earlier, I'm going to have the Whale Branch Battery Creek game next week. But to go
good
back,
segue.
To go back,
we should talk Whale Branch.
Of the island of
Isle of Ladies.
Isle of Ladies. Thank you. I'm exhausted. It's always great to go back, and the fact that we ended up getting a really good game was great.
Yeah, it's a great atmosphere there always,
so
that's a great rivalry too. There's some really funny Instagram accounts that I wish they wouldn't use the name of a particular media company that's gross and misogynistic, that I don't share their stuff, but it's like Barstool Beaufort, for example. But there's some really funny stuff on there, and there's some great trolling and some great trash talking, and there was some really good May River Beaufort trash talking going on today that I just want to acknowledge. Whoever's doing that, it's really cool. You should just dump the Barstool affiliation or whatever, because that's gross. But Whale Branch versus Burke, 62-0. Whale Branch over Burke. Daryl Cummings, you'll be shocked to hear that Daryl Cummings had 150 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that KJ Chisholm had 2, and Bradford had a touchdown, and Alonzo Allen had a touchdown. But more importantly, boys, I want you to see Alonzo Allen lay in some wood ×2. Here we go. Here's the first one. Oh, Sunjamin. Yeah, we're going to see it again. You better believe it. Oh, my goodness. This is a hospital pass, first of all. And then, Alonzo checks him into the hospital. Oh, my God.
Somebody call a doctor.
That's not right. And then this one's not bad either, honestly. Similar type deal.
Ouch.
Look out. Here comes Zoe. Here it come again. Here it come again. Let's see him again. One more. Oh! I mean, Ron Parker, the ghost said Zoe's his little soldier. He said he's going to be a real one. And, man.
He was right of that.
He brings a hammer. But, yeah, everybody got in on it just like we thought they would. I told KJ's mama that he better leave it all on the field in the first half because he probably wasn't going to see the field in the second. Went about like we expected there, 62-0. Marlboro County 38-24 over Ridgeland. That's a good. I mean, they went and battled a tough place. I still like Ridgeland. I like them. That region is going to be interesting. You mentioned it, Wes. Hampton's got Woodland and Barnwell, but don't discount Edisto, where the guys from Estill are. I don't know what they did tonight, but they were 3-1 going into the night, and that's going to be a big game for them. They're going to be up for that. For Edisto.
Yeah, there are storylines. That one.
So that's interesting. Ridgeland's still solid. Allendale is coming up in 1A too. They got a nice one over Denmark last week. So, there's still a lot of football to play here. It's going to be
36-32 over Branchville tonight for Edisto. They're 4-1.
Edisto?
Yeah.
Let's go. Live in Singleton, baby. I love those guys. Rooting for them big time. They had a good thing going at Estill, and I'm glad they found another place to sink their teeth into really. I mean, they're good dudes who are working for the kids, and they're a good tag team. So I'm happy for them. Great to see them having success.
I had max preps going on, and I gave some early scores in the game that I was doing. Obviously, I just saw the final with the Bluffton Battery Creek game. And I heard that it was 8-7 early on. So
I saw
I
that
relayed
too.
that score. But I just saw the score on the bottom line here.
Oh, man. Ridgeland was up 24-12.
Oh, boy.
Oh, man. That one hurts. It's a good team, though. Ridgeland's a solid team. They're going to be a problem.
I love watching Maurice Brown play. He's fun.
Oh, man.
And he can throw it, too.
And Xavier Plotness, too. That guy, he's a dog.
I was really impressed with him.
Winston Smith goes hard. I like those guys, man. They're tough. Yeah. They're tough.
I was really impressed by the way they handled the game against Whale Branch. They fought back hard in that first half and had a lead at one point. Their defense got a stop. Of course, Whale Branch woke up, but I love the swagger they play with and so much more energy that we've seen from that Rodney Barr coach team. So I think better things are ahead for Ridgeland. I think if they can, sneak in the playoffs, I think that's the goal you want to have. If you're
unfortunately for them, like the win last year was Edisto, right? Yeah. Edisto's not a easy win now. Like there's no easy win here. They're all you could end up with like 3 teams with 1 win each, and they have to go to tiebreakers and all that stuff. Like, I don't know. It could be interesting. The other one, Hampton County, just to go back to them, I think Whale Branch is pound for pound probably our strongest state title contender right now in high school league. But I think Hampton's just a tick below. And tonight was impressive. They were down a couple of offensive linemen. Like I said, DeMonte Mathis is out. He's key for them. And that Hilton Head defensive front is pretty good. I mean, Shai Thompson is obviously the real deal, 20 plus offers. But the rest of it's pretty good too. Connor Wendell and Bigger and Massey and like they're solid in there. And we saw them bottle up Beaufort for a good bit of the game. And they did a good job against Zion for most of the game. But I think when Hampton decided to shake it up, it was 13-3 second half, and they went to Xavier Garvin a little bit more at quarterback. And that doesn't mean he's the quarterback now by any means, but I think they just saw that they needed something else other than Zion. The passing game just wasn't really clicking, and Xavier lit a little bit of a fire there. And having to respect him, in that read option opened up some stuff for Zion, and he popped a long one, and then Xavier had a long pass. So, I think Hilton was disappointed in how they played. Just kind of sluggish and never really got out of the gates. But I think Hampton had a lot to do with that. They popped them in the mouth right off the bat, blocked the punt, got it in the end zone, got a stop, got it back. They really took the wind out of their sails. And again, that's just such a great environment. The crowd is so hyped by the time the game starts. The hurricane siren starts going off, and you got thunderstruck, and then everybody starts they start walking along in front. It's very remember the Titans, and it's good times. I love Friday nights, man. I love it.
Me too. I actually ended up quoting that movie to end our broadcast tonight.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, I forget what the exact thing was, but I did the "We want some mo, we want some mo, we want some mo," and I made a mistake, and I didn't even realize that I did it until after it got on air. But I said that was from the Replacements, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. No, it's not. What am I talking
Totally
about?
Different movie.
Totally different movie. So both great, though. So I ended up, it was a perfect segue. Or a perfect setup for this. I was wrapping things up, and I was talking about just the fact, from last year's game to this year's game, and the way Beaufort's going, and they want some mo, they want some mo, they want some mo. And by the way, that's remember the Titans, not the Replacements, like I said it 2 weeks ago. Great line and a great movie. I have to ask this of you, JJ. What'd you think of the fried chicken and corn nuggets?
Oh, well, Sam and I were both about the Sammy Dubs. Sammy Dubs couldn't come on tonight. He was too tired because he ate way too much. I ate a good bit too much. Well, actually, I ate only a little bit too much, but Sammy, he got a 4-piece. He didn't eat it all, but he also got some hot wings. I don't know. He got all kind of stuff. He couldn't decide, so he just kept getting more stuff.
When you can't decide, get a little bit of everything.
I got the 2-piece dark meat. We had a good laugh because I'm a dark meat guy. He's a white meat guy. We thought that was pretty ironic, but no, we had a great night, man. It was really fun. The Rigdons was great. We sat in the car and wolfed it down, and then Sam was like, "Holy crap, man! You're a celebrity here," because nobody knows my name, but everybody's like, "Lowco." My
Mr.
man,
Lowco.
Coach Mathis, Mr. Lowco. My man, Coach Mathis, that's what I call him because, man, he's coaching the whole game. He's on the front row of the bleachers, walking back and forth. He's got something to say for every play. He's all over it. But here's one for you. I got a highlight for you guys. You ready for some Devontae Green?
Sure, always.
Devontae Green's always fun, right? How about 95 yards worth of Devontae Green? Oh,
look at him go.
He gone.
And he ain't.
He gone.
Yeah, when he gets the open field like that, there's nobody catching him.
But we got to give the Big Ugly some love because they made this one happen for sure. Anytime you got a hole that big. Here we go.
Wide open Green.
Oh, that was a great cutback, though. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was pretty.
He gone. I mean, they sealed it, but he jumped back in that lane.
Yeah, he had to recognize
Mr.
that.
Libby, he gone.
Find that space, and there he goes.
Yeah, that's great vision. That's great vision. And then I think we got one other really good highlight from that game. Go ahead touchdown from Mr. Jackson Porter. because they won 28-21. So this is the Porter. Oh, too loud. We can't handle that. Oh, he's got a cadre of blockers. Oh man. Man, they sync up the timing on those plays really well. Remember that one a few weeks ago where they had like 3 dudes all synced up?
That was beautiful.
Oh, man. This is another one. I mean, they just get a whole fleet out in front of him. And then he just hits it. Man.
Tell you what, I think we may have 3.
That's beautiful football.
3 title contenders and 3 SCISA classifications this year with Hilton and Chris Demi. You got it. I mean,
I think you got to put them in the mix at this point.
Wilson Hall's up there, but the way they destroyed a very good.
PD's down, so
PD's
like,
down.
I think HHCA is legit. Yeah. I think they figured it out. I mean, they're gonna be tough on defense. Smith is a terrific schemer. I mean, he's so good. And then Clark, he was gonna get back on track. Like the first game was not winnable, and then the second one was a close game. Yeah. Like there was no panic necessary. They're fine. And now, if they had lost that Ben Lippen game, it could have gotten dicey. But
and that's a Wilson Hall team that you could see again. Charleston.
Yeah, and I think they got a great chance to beat them if they see them again. Peduzzi teams are always going to be a heck of a lot better in November than they are in August. I promise you that. But that's about it, fellas. I think it's we're past an hour. Okay. We have fulfilled our obligation to society. We have spoken about high school football for 1 hour plus, and I think that's a good time to call it.
Get ready for some foosball tomorrow back at the Finland Field.
Yeah, and I've got to love on some more sponsors. Parker Law Group, varsity sponsor. I saw their sign out at Hampton tonight. They got signs everywhere. They support all the teams, and we appreciate them also showing us some love as well, because we feel like we're part of that whole team. We're all together in this thing together, celebrating these kids, these teams, and the beauty of our high school teams representing our communities, and our kids getting to be celebrities, stars in their own universe. That's the way I look at it. We're making them stars in their own universe. So shout out to Parker Law Group. They serve the folks out in Hampton, Colleton, and Jasper with all their legal needs, and they're helping us continue to serve those communities with great local sports coverage, as well as DDS Web Design. Go see Dave and Denise online at ddshhi.com. They'll help you get a website up and running for your business that will get you found and get results. They love to work with small businesses and nonprofits. And then we got some Lowco Booster Club members, Prime IV, Hydration and Wellness over in Belfair Town Village. Go see Max, get juiced up while you sit in their massage chair. Rooted Living Wellness in Sheridan Park. My guy Ambrose cracked me up on Wednesday, and man, I'm feeling so much better. Gonna have to go see him again. He's terrific. Barefoot Floor Care of the Low Country. They'll get your floors so clean your feet will thank you. Call Chris Odom and he will get it all clean for you. Eagle Creations, one of the area's best kept secrets. They're over on Argent Boulevard. They got a great showroom full of promotional items and awards and trophies and plaques and apparel and your Yeti cups and your Arctic cups and your all that stuff, all of it, everything under the sun. It's like 4M print right over off Argent. So go over there and get your stuff. They can also do your business cards, all those kinds of things. And then we got the Court Lifestyle Pros joining the Lowco Booster Club. Your buddy Daniel Court, your partner in crime, one of them. Yep, him and your boy Libby. Love both those guys, but Daniel and Debbie will help you learn how to live that Lowco lifestyle on Hilton Head, because they're Low Country natives who have very much experience. They definitely live the Lowco lifestyle. They have a good time. They're definitely not lacking for fun, So thanks to all those folks, as well as the MVP sponsors we shouted out earlier. My wife, Megan Jarrett, the official realtor of Lowco Sports from the Pierce Group, Mickelson Law Firm, the OG sponsors, Hospice Care of the Low Country, who I don't think I read their ad earlier, but they are wonderful, and you should go to Harmonious under the stars at Harbor Town, listen to some live jazz music, and help make sure that nobody in our community has to pay out of pocket for hospice care, because it's not about dying, it's about living. And we told that story earlier about Jimmy Buffett singing to a woman. It was like her hospice wish. So awesome.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, Jimmy Diamond and Jimmy Buffett are two of a kind, two wonderful people. Hope Jimmy Diamond's doing okay. Missed him today.
I wonder if he's going to have that gold and black jacket. He may even have, I think he has black pants that he goes with it. Have
Jimmy
you ever seen
Diamond?
it? Yes.
I have.
Jacket?
Yeah, I've seen it. I have. Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
This guy, I mean, he's something else. If you don't know him, you don't even know. Like you can't
You
can't
have
even
no
imagine.
idea if you don't.
You
know
can't even
him.
imagine James Desmond if you don't know him. But he's
He's
special,
a great dude.
and he makes hospice care a special place, and they take good care of you. So love them, love all y'all.
Yep.
Appreciate everybody for getting on and talking with us tonight. Stricklander, Trace Lowther making his
How
season
about
debut.
Trace?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, bringing Trace out of the cobwebs. I love it. That's great stuff. And we'd love to see you on here next week if you're going to a game, especially because I'm running a remote command center from Florida, so I'm going to need all the help I can get
Right.
figuring out
We
what all happened in
yeah, I
the
mean, we
Lowco.
got it's going to be we are getting close to region play, really firing up, but
Yeah.
Hilton Head Christian Academy, Beaufort Academy, that one will be at the cage. Going to be a heck of an atmosphere over there.
And then you got Wellbranch Creek. That's a good one
Creek,
too.
right?
Or will
Oh,
be.
great rivalry game.
I mean, it may not be a good one this year,
Bluffton,
but it's a good one. Creek got it
Beaufort
last year,
Bluffton
though.
as
Don't
well.
sleep on Creek.
That's true.
Creek gold.
Got to get healthy.
We got Beaufort Bluffton as well. So another Lowco on Lowco game.
That one's interesting.
Yeah.
That one's interesting.
Beaufort Bluffton for sure. Interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. I think Bluffton's going to have a hard time stopping that run game. Jaden's he's a load. How was Jaden tonight? Did he have a good game tonight? Jaden
Yeah,
Andrews?
he had a couple
Or
of
they
big
bottled him up?
touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, it started out kind of he got off to a good start, left because he was banged up a little bit,
Yeah.
came back in. It was
But
just,
then you said
like I
Elias.
said, it was just a weird night. Elias started off really slow, and then he broke a huge run down the left
broke a big one.
sideline. But in the
Yeah.
second half, when the offenses, and particularly Beaufort's offense, was able to open up a little bit with the ground game, that's really where they shone brightly with Elias and certainly Jaden.
And that's
and-
kind of their MO.
Tell you what,
They're gonna keep doing it and wear you
this
down
might be
until it
one of
works.
the rare times.
Yeah.
This might be one of the easiest weeks to double dip and go to two games, because you got Bluffton and Hilton and Christian Academy both playing home games. So,
Yeah, that's perfect.
yeah.
That's like across the street. Like you can park at Low Country Community Church and just walk over. Like, no, that's a good one. We drove past Patrick Henry to go to Hampton tonight. It could have worked. Could have worked. I like to double dip. It's fun. I like to go one place for the first half, someplace else for the second half. It feels like two different experiences, but
Right.
tonight was all about digging into Hampton and that experience, because man, that's a special place.
When are
it's
you
cool. We
heading
got a
to
good
Florida?
feeling.
When are you heading to Florida, JJ?
Friday. We go Friday down. Play Saturday, Sunday down at Boomba.
There you go.
Coming off a
All-
championship, we're gonna go play.
Right.
Step up the competition a little bit down there. Should be good. Test the boys, humble them after their championship,
Right.
or not. I mean, who knows? You never know, right? You may humble some other people, but great show, boys. Appreciate you, and let's get some sleep. And Wes, I'll see you on Monday night. We'll do the whole lowdown thing, and then we'll get some more content out for you this week, assuming I don't have any car accidents tomorrow. But should be a better week than last week, I think. Sounds good.
Certainly glad everything's going well for you, buddy.
Great to hear.
Yeah, man.
Just thinking
You
about
too.
you.
Great to see you guys. Oh, I'm fine. I'm all good, man. We got new wheels and everything. Like my back's a little sore, but like I'm okay. I'm fine. It's okay. My back was sore anyway. I think that's because it's mostly sore because Ambrose put everything back where it was supposed to be, and it hadn't been there for a little while. So it's a good thing. I'll feel better here shortly. But great night, fellas. Enjoyed it, and we'll do it again next week. So thanks so much to all of our guests. Thanks to our sponsors. And thanks to you for showing up to hang out and talk football or listen to us talk football with us. If you're going to a game, let us know. We'd love to get you on here to talk about it. Until next time, go Loco.